Tonight, joining us in Irvine, California, former federal prosecutor, criminal defense attorney, and civil attorney Andrew Cherkasky is with us, back with us. In Tampa, Florida, criminal defense attorney Teresa Jean-Pierre Coy, and in Naperville, Illinois, civil and criminal defense attorney Shawn Collins. Welcome to everyone. Ladies first, guys. So just hold your horses here. Teresa, let me ask you, how does this change the complexion, the tone? What's going to happen inside that courtroom when we have a trial now with just Derek Chauvin sitting at the defendant's table by himself with his legal team?
I think this ruling today is really going to affect Mr. Chauvin. Like, as you said, he is going to be there by himself. But, at the end of the day, when you look at this case, and if you remember the video, he is the one mainly with his knee on the neck of Mr. Floyd. So he was going to stand out whether this trial was going to be the four of them or if it's just him. He's going to be the one that they're going to say and cast the blame on. So, I think it is a big deal that the trial was severed. I think, he's going to be sitting there alone. But I think it's really going to affect the other defendants more so than it's going to affect Mr. Chauvin. And that's just my opinion.
Andrew, you're a former federal prosecutor. How are prosecutors reacting to this? Because they wanted all four defendants, and that's kind of like the knee-jerk reaction, right, that prosecutors have. I want to try them all at once because they're all going to point the fingers at each other, right? So I want everybody there. In this case, how do you think this impacts the prosecution's approach to the case and the way they try this first defendant?
Vinny, how are you? It's good to be on your show. It's always so good to be on your show because we really can get into a lot more of the deep legal strategy behind this and how it's going to play out. And I really think that Chauvin is the biggest loser in the separation of the trials here. Why? Because it's going to focus on him, and he's not going to be able to allow his case to get lost in kind of what I'm going to call a bystander defense. The other police officers, it's not like a typical conspiracy case where it's kind of like a felony murder where everybody was in on a common plan. No, they showed up to this and acted like fools as they found themselves at the crime scene and potentially actually criminals, but in a much different way than Chauvin. So I really think from a prosecutor's perspective, this allows them to eliminate that bystander defense that we're going to see so heavily with the other officers and focus entirely on the physical criminal allegations against Chauvin.
Yeah, Shawn, I'm a former prosecutor, and it didn't matter what the case was. I would always tell the jury how simple the case was. This is a simple case, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'd lay it out. But I think here, prosecutors have a much more simple case when you're just dealing with one person, especially when it's the one with the knee on the neck.
Look, I think that's absolutely true. I think Chauvin is the big loser here for the reason that you say. The case just got simpler. The chaff was stripped away. There are very clean lines on this case now, and that's much tougher for Chauvin. Overall, I think we have to be concerned about justice. I know in your next segment we'll talk about the other three, and that's where I think the real action here is, the real concern is. But for Chauvin, it just got tougher. A very tough case just got tougher for him.
Well, a part of that is going to be, I think, from the body cam, where we hear the officers speaking to each other, particularly Thomas Lane, the rookie, giving some suggestions to his superior, Chauvin, as George Floyd is on the ground. I want to show a little piece from the special that's airing this Sunday on Court TV, I Can't Breathe, George Floyd. It's a Court TV documentary special. This is going to be graphic, folks. So, if people are up this late watching this show who shouldn't be, time to get them out of the room. Let's take a look at that moment.